Man, oh man. Man, oh man. It seems like it only gets worse. It seems like it only gets worse with Kevin Stefanski in regards to Shedeur Sanders. We watched him take Shedeur Sanders out on a 2-point conversion while the man just scored 2 back-to-back touchdowns, had over 360 yards passing, and he snatches him out of the game with a chance to go up. Now, we have Kevin Stefanski at the podium, not sounding sure, not sounding confident in Shedeur Sanders going up against the Chicago Bears in the elements in Chicago. We got to get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. Let's get into what Kevin Stefanski had to say about Shedeur Sanders. And people are saying it just doesn't seem like he's confident in 12 to go to Chicago and play well, being that the Bears do have created a lot of turnovers and things like that. I think he should have the utmost confidence in his quarterback, but hey, maybe that's just me.
Respond before we make a decision.
Shedeur's had several weeks of practice as the starter. Is there something you can point to, like during the practice week, just operationally, that he's doing better, or maybe it's going smoother just because you're now in routine?
Yeah, I think it's all of the above. I think the more turns you get something, the more comfortable you get. You're working with a new center this week, so that's a different challenge in a good way, where you have to get on the same page with Whip and have some dialogue and conversations about certain things that you're doing in a game. So I think all of it for a young player is important.
Brother, Brown's offensive line is so garbage, man. We saw Batonio nosedive into the dirt, not block nobody. Luke Whip, like, why are we talking about Luke Whipplers and all? Like, man, this is a shit show, bro. Like, we don't got no line. We got a varsity high school offensive line blocking. That's why Quinshon Judkins can't get nothing going in the run game. Shedeur Sanders can't get protected. I mean, it's a complete clown show, man. And you don't even sound confident in your group. Like,
Important. I think it all adds up.
we going with this center first game, so a brand new center. Man, this is man, whatever, bro.
Of those guys having the 18 interceptions and the 27 takeaways altogether, how do you make sure that with Shedeur that he can maintain his ability to go downfield with the ball, but also just being careful with the ball?
I think that's our job, to design a game plan and then our players to go execute it. Listen, this is a very, very good defense, like you mentioned, leading the league in takeaways. We understand all of that, and we respect that. And you watch the film, and you.
That's the thing. It is your job to create a game plan, but we don't trust you guys to come up with a good one, as we have seen your guys' inability to do that. We've seen your inability to come up with an offensive scheme to go up against a solid defense and be able to move the ball. Like, we don't trust your offensive game plan.
Prepare for that. But at the end of the day, we're focused on being efficient and explosive on our end. And when there's opportunities, we'll take them. And if those opportunities aren't there, we'll move on and wait for the next one. Good. Okay, thanks, guys.
Man, this dude, I'm sorry, y'all. I just don't trust him. I just don't trust him.
This week. We have different guys that will work through there.
He's relatively new.
Yeah.
Here, I know he played for Denzel the other days. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, has fit in really well. Has played meaningful snaps for us on defense and on special teams. Really brings a size element, a speed element, a physicality. So, like what Sam brings.
It seems like the most guys that you've had out for a game. So, how do you feel about having to head into a challenging game like this with a little bit of a skeleton crew in some areas?
Yeah, that's part of the game, Mary Kay, and a lot of what we do as coaches is work through contingency plans and see who's available. And there's always uncertainty going into football games of who may or may not play. So we just work through those things. That's a kind of you deal with whatever's in front of you.
Even having been here before, can he be up to speed fast enough to have a role on Sunday?
I think so. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, very intelligent player, veteran. So he can do whatever's asked of him.
Are you sure?
Tevin is obviously starting in Wyatt's place. If for some reason Joel and Zach can't go again, who's the option?
We have different options that we've worked through all week, and we'll see what it looks like in the next 48.
I know Joel does everything he can to play, so if he's able to be out there, how important to have that continuity when you're missing.
Sure.
Guys.
Yeah, obviously continuity along the offensive line is ideal, not always realistic. But if you can have your veterans out there when you're dealing with some of the injuries, that would be beneficial. But like we've said before, you got to get everybody ready to play.
Questionable guys? I mean, do you feel pretty good about maybe Mason being able to get out there?
I think it's hard to say, Mary Kay. I think with all of these injuries, I think you have to treat the injury, treat the player, see how they respond today, see how they respond tomorrow before you can really make a decision.
I think part of the reason, he just doesn't seem confident in Shedeur. He never does, to me, to be honest. But I think another reason he's kind of, because people are saying he's coming off as not very confident. I think the injuries, I don't feel like he believes they can win with all these injuries. To be honest, I don't think he believes in the offensive line. Like, his body language is bad. I don't see it.
But
The weather element of this game, obviously, you know what it's going to be. How would you kind of prep your guys for? I mean, obviously.
Yeah, listen, weather's part of the game. It's the same for both teams. Like I've told you guys before, we deal with elements. We don't control them. So sometimes it's wind, sometimes it's rain, sometimes it's really hot day, sometimes it's really cold day. You have to focus on doing your job regardless of what the elements are.
How was this week different than last week for Deshaun?
Just a continued progression for him, physically, mentally. I think he did a nice job with what we asked him to do.
The growth of those QBs in that group.
Yeah, I'd give Deshaun a lot of credit. I'd give Bailey Zappi a lot of credit for. I think there's always value when you get reinforced coaching points from your peers and from your teammates, and I think Tommy and Muss do a great job in that room. But it doesn't hurt to have guys that have started games in this league to answer questions and to provide experiences to our young players.
KT obviously going to start right tackle. Montez Sweat for the Bears. He seems to primarily line up. How much of a challenge, and is that going to be for KT to do? And what has Sweat meant to that?
Yeah, he's a great player. We've played against him when he was in Washington. We played against him when they traded for him in Chicago. I have a ton of respect for how he plays the game. He's big, physical, disruptive in the run, disruptive in the pass. So it's our job as an offense to try to limit him. Not going to be about one person.
When you were in Minnesota, did Bud Grant ever offer you any tips on dealing with the cold?
I could tell some Bud Grant stories. That playoff game, we're playing the Seattle Seahawks in the playoffs outside at the University of Minnesota, and Coach Grant was one of the captains of the game, -6 at kickoff. And he came out wearing a Vikings polo, which is unbelievable, but just sending that message to the team that, similar to what I just said, you just deal with the elements. And he had a way, and we just being there all those years, you heard the stories about not having heaters on the sideline and channeling the Eskimos in terms of how to deal with the winter and the weather and the frigid temperatures. So Coach Grant had it figured out.
All right, man. So that was my bad. I ain't even.
All right, good work out there.
I ain't even mean to
With
do
the guys.
But yeah, so that was it for Kevin Stefanski. As far as what he had to say, I don't know, man. He does. I will agree with the people that were saying he doesn't seem super confident. I don't know, man. I just want to see 12 do his thing. Hopefully the Browns can squeeze out a win somehow, some way versus one of the better teams in the league. But get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. This is Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel.